Now look into the future a few years and picture yourself, you're married and happy, and you all decide you want to have a family, but you find out you can't conceive. So then you go with your second best option. You choose to adopt. But then you realize we're a new family, we just bought a house, we just got a new car, and we're struggling to pay bills. And then you find out the price of adoption, and you can't afford it. So now not only are you heartbroken because you can't conceive a child, but yet you're also heartbroken because you can't adopt one either. Today I will talk about why adoption should be cheaper and how this is possible. First, let's look at the problem with the price of adoption. Adoption can cost anywhere from $4,000 to $30,000 according to adoption.com. That's roughly the price of a new car or even the down payment on a house. From 1999 to 2011, there have been 233,934 adoptions all over the world, which makes it roughly 19,000 adoptions a year, compared to the 210 million orphans in the world, based off of the statistics from the Bureau of Consular Affairs. If you live in a two-bedroom home and already have a child, then you're going to have to purchase a new house to be able to adopt a child for them to have a room of their own. Or if you decide to adopt siblings, you're going to have to buy a new house because both the siblings have to have a separate room. So not only are you having to pay the up to $30,000 for adoption, but you're also having to afford a new home, possibly a new job depending on where you're moving. And if you want to adopt a child with medical issues, well, that's going to cost you even more. It costs taxpayers $30,000 to $100,000 a year to keep a child in foster care, according to National Adoption Center. So you're already paying an arm and a leg to adopt a child, and now you've found out that you're having to pay even more money out of your taxes to help keep children in foster care. $500 to $10,000 more if you want to adopt a child from another country. If you want to adopt a child from another country, not only are you having to pay for the U.S. expenses, but you're also having to pay for the travel expenses of that child and the person who's bringing them, and pay for the travel expenses for the person to go back, and for any expenses they have while they are in the U.S. Now let's look at this chart from the state government, and as you can tell, from 2004, adoption has drastically decreased because of the price, because it has become so expensive and such a hassle to adopt a child that no one can afford it anymore. In 2010, we had 11,058 children adopted, but in 2011, only 9,319. Now, isn't that kind of a sad fact to think about? More adoptions happen in Russia and China than anywhere else in the world. And most of them are 1 to 2 years to under a year. And it costs more to adopt an infant than it does to adopt an older child. Trying to fix the problem can be difficult. One option is to adopt through Child Protective Services. Child Protective Services can help cover some of the cost of your household evaluation and the class that the parents have to go through, and it's also cheaper. The only problem is dealing with Child Protective Services is you're having to go through different legal issues than you would if you go through a private adoption agency. A different solution is there's a $10,000 tax credit for adoption you can file for, but you have to almost be completely through with the process, meet all the requirements, and even then it's hard to get. Another solution is to contact your state representative about the issue and some of the costs that could be lowered, like the application fee, which can cost $500, or the filing fee to have an inter-country child adopted. Our Texas U.S. representative is Randy Nagelbauer. You can also contact our state senator, Troy Frazier, or our state representative, Susan King, about this issue we are facing. As I finish, let me leave you with this quote from Why is Adoption So Expensive by Kevin Hendricks. As you cannot honestly say, there is no problems with the adoption system. The fact that children around the world are dying, and children in our own country are living in wretched circumstances, and yet the only way to save these children is with a huge wad of cash. Well, something is wrong with that. This is why people respond with such passion and anger, because at its core, people recognize that to prevent a child from being adopted because of lack of printed paper from a fiat currency system, well, that is just evil, pure and simple.